In this study, we focused on the United States and the European area, represented by the US dollar and the euro. The US dollar plays a dominant role in global trade, international finance, and commodity pricing, which makes movements in the USD against the Malaysia ringgit highly relevant for Malaysia's economy. Changes in USD or RM can directly affect trade costs, capital flow, and financial stability. The euro represents a major economical bloc and is the second most important international currency. Euro or RM movements reflect economic conditions in the euro area as well as broader global market sentiment. Between 2018 and 2022, global shocks such as the COVID-19 pandemic and rising geopolitical and continually significantly increased the exchange rate volatility. Therefore, USD OIM and Euro OIM provide meaningful cases for examining currency stability during periods of global disruption.
Based on the chart, both the USD and the EUR show relative stable exchange rate movements against the MYR from 2018 to 2023, with only moderate fluctuations. Overall, the euro consistently records a higher exchange rate than the US dollar, indicating that the EUR is stronger against the ringgit throughout the period. Both countries experienced a slight increase around 2020 to 2021, followed by a small decline towards 2023. This suggests short-term volatility, but no drastic long-term changes. In general, the exchange rate of USD and EUR against MYR remain fairly stable over the selected years.
Hello everyone, now let me briefly explain the Power BI dashboard for the exchange rate analysis of USD and Euro against Malaysia Ringgit. So first of all, this dashboard is mainly used to observe the trend, stability, and the contrast between the US dollar and the Euro in multiple years. So let's look at the line chart in the upper left corner first. Judging from the overall trend, the trend of the US dollar and the euro is relatively stable, and there is no obvious large functional. This shows that the exchange rate relationship between the Malaysia ringgit and its two major international currencies was stable and predictable during the study period. Further comparison can be found that the functional of the euro is smaller and the trend is smaller. So then look at the pie chart in the middle, which mainly compares the relative proportion of the two currencies at a high level. It can be seen that the proportion of the US dollar and the euro is very close. This shows that even in extreme cases, there is no significant difference in the degree of volatility between the two currencies. So then look at the average card on the right, which reflects the long-term overall trend. So finally, let's look at the bar chart in the lower right corner. So in each year, the euro is always higher than US dollar, and the gap between the two remains largely unchanged. This shows that there is no structural change between years and the overall trend is stable. So the above is my analysis. Thank you.
The section compares the exchange rate performance of ringgit against the US dollar and the euro. From the line chart, ringgit against the USD appears more stable with smoother movement over time, while linking against the euro shows a greater fluctuation, although both currencies follow a similar trend. The analyzed euro average indicates the euro experiences larger variation. This suggests that the USD related transactions um, involve lower exchange rate risk, whether euro-related trade or investment requires more caution.
Recommendation: potential investment. From an investor's perspective, the RM-USD exchange rate is more stable than RM-EUR, as it shows smoother movement and smaller annual variations. The main risk lies in the higher volatility of the euro, which increases exchange rate uncertainty in trade and investment. Therefore, USD-related investment is recommended, yes, due to low risk, while EUR-related investments should be approached with caution because of greater fluctuations.
In this study, we focus on the United States and Europe area, represented by the US dollar and the euro. The US dollar is the most widely used currency in global trade and international finance, and it is also commonly used to price commodities such as oil and raw materials. Because of this, changes in the exchange rate between the US dollar and the Malaysian ringgit are very important for Malaysia.
The euro is a top global currency. The EUR or RM rate shows how the Eurozone economy is doing, along with overall market feeling worldwide. From 2018 to 2022, big world events like the COVID pandemic and the rising political tensions caused a lot of movement in exchange rate. That's why looking at USD or RM and the EUR or RM helps us understand how stable currencies are during troubled times.